Hello friends, welcome, Satnam, Namaste, welcome to I'm Woke. In today's video, I'm going to take you through a collective reading for those of you that are looking to attract soulmate partnership, divine counterpart, union, twin flame, all of the beautiful cosmic relationships. So we're gonna do a collective reading today. I'm gonna do it on behalf, I'm still thinking about it, but I think on behalf of both the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and very excited about it. So welcome. If you're new to my world, my name is Emelina Calder. I am a spiritual mentor, a high performance coach, life coaching, personal branding coaching, as well as relationship coaching. And I'm a psychic medium. So I'm going to take us through today some of my channeling ability as well as a bunch of different oracle cards to pull for the collective update and collective read right now for all of the true love, soulmate, partnership, collective. And again, that can be divine counterparts, that could be soulmates, that could be twin flames. Like there are many names for ultimately what is pretty much the same thing, which is some level of divine relationship, divine union. And I do also want to start there by saying this is not necessarily gender specific. Hi, welcome in. I am going to speak to divine masculine and divine feminine as counterpart relationship components, as opposed to karmic or like unconscious. These are the conscious versions, the more spiritually energetic aware versions of the masculine and the feminine in relationship. And of course, DF and DM can be interchanged. In same-sex unions, there's still someone who's occupying the divine masculine and someone who's occupying the divine feminine counterpart states of awareness. So take that as you will. As always, take what you love, leave the rest. You know, I'm counting on your ability to be able to read in between the lines for yourself and your own intuition on what feels right for you, regardless of what I say. So that is my little note there. I'm gonna turn on the AC because it's hot in here. And what else do I want to say? Oh, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any energy updates and sweet little videos like this. Tap that like button, please, if you don't mind. And I also want to let you guys know I am launching a brand new free training that is a twin flame divine counterpart soulmate video training. And I think I've got 10 videos. It's over 10 hours of content of me educating about twin flame and soulmate relationships. And I know I've said this endlessly in videos, but like, I am like the cosmic negotiator when it comes to what I very much specialize in cosmically as a shaman, as a psychic reader, if you will, is relationships. I'm really great with soul contracts, understanding the agreements, helping you step into more of who you are authentically so you can attract better agreements, close out the karmic agreements that you have already signed up for, to be done with them, to then step into a better life. I was gonna say better contracts, but it sounds so like sterile. A better life with people that you adore and that adore you, and likely a partner that will fit all the nooks and crannies that you need them to, vice versa. So, welcome. We're here. On the twin flame training, the twin flame video training, soulmate video training. I go into both twin flames and soulmates. They're a little bit different, but I explain it in all the different videos. I will leave a link in the description below for you guys. I'm wrapping it up now, but if you sign up now, you'll get access in the next few days when I hit publish on that training via email, and I will deliver all of those free videos to your inbox. And I really think you're gonna love them, because I have so much experience with twin flame, soulmate, soul contract, everything. And I'm pretty good at explaining them. So anyway, I'm gonna jump right into the reading. I've got some questions that I'm not spirit, and I do think I'm gonna channel both masculine and feminine components. So depending on who you are, you can watch this regardless of your role and your gender. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is just tune in real quick. And you can tune in with me. Just set a nice grounding cord to the center of Earth's core. Call in a connection to your own higher guidance system, your own higher self, your own higher power. Removing any interference from any lower level karmic frequencies. May you be protected and a little, I'm being shown just a white pillar of light connecting you all the way down to the ground, through the ground, all the way down to the center of Earth's core, and all the way up into cosmic everything. But really connecting you very specifically and very consciously right now to your higher self connection, your multidimensional self. We ask right now that your higher self clear out any chatter or lower level conditioning, lower vibrational patterns in your energy signature regarding relationship, what you're entitled to, what you're deserving of, who you think you are. And bring your awareness at this time to your highest states of awareness, opening up your ability to begin to perceive your higher timelines around partnership and union with who would be the divine selection for you, not just someone you think that would be nice, but specifically opening up for the divine selection, the dharmic selection, the one that your higher self would choose for you in partnership. And that's really important because we do have a lot of soulmates, and there are a lot of people that are compatible, even a lot of soulmates that are compatible. But when we want to open up to the divine connection, who's meant for us in a divine way, divine selection, because there are so many things we don't know to ask for that I promise you your higher self has taken into account. And if you're willing to settle in any way and not take the signs of whether or not it is a divine connection and has been divinely selected, then you're settling. Like, why settle? Like, your higher self knows everything that you want and need, and likely a whole bunch of traits and things, an ascension protocol from the other person that you don't even know to ask for, vice versa. Like, the divine selection soulmate partnership is like your dream person, even if you don't know exactly what that would be or look like. They fit you like a puzzle piece. Most of us have no idea what to ask for. Like, and this is just from the amount that I've channeled for myself and others and the amount of relationship coaching I've done. Like, I can almost promise you that yes, we have lists and we have ideals and we have things we want, but when the right person is crossing your path, they're bringing a whole lot of things you may not have asked for, but your soul knows that you need. And then you're just like, how is it, like, this is so incredible. How did this even come into my life? It really is like, they're showing me like a puzzle piece in a really like profound, kind of awkward way, because a lot of us that are adults that like myself, like we're just like, I don't know. When I was 22, the first guy I fell in love with, I had such a hard rejection. I'm telling you guys this for a reason. I had such a hard rejection that when I was 22, I like looked myself in the mirror and I was like, soulmates aren't real. I was like, he's a soulmate. And he said, no, he was supposed to be my life partner. And I knew it. And I got all the psychic downloads and guidance on it. And I had a conversation with him about it. We were best friends. Everyone else knew it too, by the way. It was like crazy. Like, everyone knew. Everyone was like, why aren't, yeah, of course that's a thing. Huge rejection. That rejection was really beautiful for me because, it allowed me to not anchor into one person. It really opened up my entire universe to understand there are multiple potential realities, multiple potential partners. And then I began seeing that very clearly. Anyway, so I can read a lot of different soulmate relationships because I'm not polyamorous, but it's almost like my soul has given me those downloads, because I knew with that rejection, I was like, oh, it's not one, it's not like this idea of the one that you have to sacrifice for. I was like so thankful for the rejection. And because I wasn't willing to settle, there were things about myself that he hated about me that literally I was like, that's not a bad trait though. Like, I don't want to settle. I don't want to compromise in this way. And that was a really important, it's a really important part of my soul development. That's why I'm telling you this story, is that, you know, a lot of us adults don't believe that there is a one, because we've been through it a number of times. But that's the thing, is we can go through it a number of times with very compatible soulmates that may or may not tear our hearts up, right? Could be kind of part of the process. So where's I going with that? I don't remember, but it has to do with compromise. You don't want to compromise, ultimately. And if you can hold out and wait, not that we're ever really waiting, but just like, how do I explain this? What you want is the ideal, and the ideal wants you back. Your higher self wants you to have the most ideal person. Compromise is not required. I'm not saying that no compromise is required in relationship. I'm saying specifically, and definitely for women, I will say that when they engage in soulmate relationships, they tend to, especially with soulmates, I've coached a lot on this, they tend to like just give up all their energy and assume that they have to conform themselves to the man who is, a lot of them are running. I've been in both positions as well, so I could speak to both. Like, I have been both runner and chaser in different soulmate dynamics. But anyway, my point is to the women, don't compromise. There also is a one that is created for you. You know, what's another way we could say that? As we live our lives, we live in contrast, right? We create clarity based on what we don't like. That clarity goes up to the higher self. The higher self has a huge, long-ass checklist, knows which soulmates are on the grid, as I like to say at any time, which soulmates have high levels of compatibility with the physical human on the grid at any time. And then I would say that there's likely a one or two that can be changed out depending on free will, maybe even three. But generally speaking, there is someone that is living a very parallel life to you in general, where you are like either twinning or just mirroring somehow in one way or another, which, sign up for my training below. I'll send you all the twin flame videos, okay? But yeah, because I'm not going to go into that more specifically. But okay, we're already 12 months in. We are 12 months in. That's what just came out of my mouth. How many of you guys that are watching this video now or will be watching this video have been actively working on a divine counterpart journey for the last 12 months? I can't believe 12 months came out of my mouth. That's clearly a message. So now that I've seen that, they're showing me bringing an entire crew forward. So we're here for it. I quickly want to explain the differences. Okay. You've heard about twin flames. Generally speaking, I don't love the idea of trying to chase down, like, universe, send me a twin flame, send me a twin flame, I want a twin flame. They're very hard relationships, okay? They can be done really, really, really beautifully, but there's a huge growth trajectory. I just wouldn't attach to the idea of twin flame, is what I'm trying to say. Just ask for a divine counterpart, ask for a soulmate, just ask for somebody real high compatibility, somebody that you're gonna absolutely adore, that's your puzzle piece, okay? Whatever that means for you. I just like to spit up there. I'm like, soulmate, bring it in. Okay, where do I want to go? Give me one sec, you guys. I'm just gonna check in. I think I'm just gonna jump right in. The first thing, oh no, yeah, I was gonna go into divine counterpart, but I actually don't know that I need to. It's just like your other half. It's the divine counterpart. The idea behind it is like the most elevated form of a twin flame. It's your true love contract. It's the sun versus the moon, the magnetism versus projection, like just the balances of the forces that make up the universe. Okay. All right. I think we're in a good spot. So, I'm going to ask, let me just check in again. I think I'm going to do highest potential for both in union, divine masculine and divine feminine. Okay, so what's the highest potential in soulmate partnership for my collective watchers anyone who is going to see this video, the full collective of them together. God, I love what I do. I love it. We got companion. There are like 80 cards in this deck. Like the chances, you know what I mean? Like gotta love psychic everything. Oh my gosh. Child divine. I will break these things down, but we're looking at, what did I say? The highest potential. These two came, okay, so there's a lot of child energy behind this, which I'm gonna have to break down in a moment. But we have the child divine, the child orphan, and the child eternal. Two of these cards have two humans on them. So you're gonna be really nurturing your inner children. Any good relationship should be very, very safe for each of your inner childs to children to like come out and play with each other, even including the inner shadow, the inner child shadow. I don't know how you'd say that. Okay. Right on the bottom they had Virgin. So this is like the bottom of the deck's always like the underlying energy, like the overall energy that's consistently coming through in a reading. So I'm gonna break all that down in a second. Let me see, I wanna pull some others. Highest potential in soulmate relationship for my collective here. I love this deck, by the way. It's the highest potential in soulmate relationship. Earthbound relationships, that's what that is. So we got earth and prosperity. So this is really about, I'll dive into this more, but this is really about tapping into your spiritual wealth in all the ways, but like grounded and rooted on earth. And they're asking me to share this part. So for people like me that are very like cosmically oriented, like channel a lot, like I need it's usually good for me to have relationships because they ground me into earth. Like they make me be present for earth. Otherwise my energy's like very up in the air. So anyway, they're bringing the attention to earth. It is grounding your prosperity, grounding your dreams, grounding your ideas through the collaboration between you and a divinely selected partner. I love that the Virgin card was at the bottom. Because the Virgin symbolizes purity. It's the pure heart. It's the sacred heart. This has very little to do with your sexual activity and everything to do with your heart space. Are you functioning from a wounded heart? Are you communicating from your divine heart? Are you communicating from the sacred heart? The sacred heart is the one that is connected to everything. It's the softest, it's the sweetest. It's why so many child archetypes came out. Like, this is the heart space. We do mature the heart space, but in the act of maturing the heart, it's about keeping your heart pure, not tainted, not corrupted, not shadowed, so that when your partner arrives, you're not going to hurt them. You're not, certainly not intentionally. Like, keeping your heart pure is keeping yourself out of, how do I explain that? It's like they're showing me the opposite of a pure virgin heart is a twisted heart, a manipulative heart, a controlling heart. They're showing me a heart with thorns in it. Anyone that is entering relationship, and God won't let you do this, by the way, with a divine partner, like they won't let you screw it up this way. There's usually a lot of protection put in place. So this is the highest potential. This is what you're working towards, is the purity of the heart space, the purity of your energy. Let me explain purity. Let me try to break this down. So it's about being unguarded, okay? And I know everyone loves to talk about having an unguarded heart. Let's talk about having an unguarded heart, because Sweet Angel right here has an unguarded heart. A very innocent heart, what is required to keep your heart pure and unguarded and innocent are hefty, hefty boundaries. And I don't feel like that many people talk about that. We live in a world where if you have a pure, unguarded, innocent heart and you're going around in public, like, you will be destroyed. Like, we do not live in that kind of a world. So to allow yourself to be so vulnerable and openly expressive and pure, like, it's almost like seeing everything for the first time, seeing love for the first time. Every time you're loving from that space of your heart, the sacred heart, you have to be very, very clear with your standards, with what you'll accept and what you won't. A lot of my work has been creating very, very heavy boundaries towards any level of disrespect from men towards me. That is going to be the far majority of the work for the divine feminine, is going to be setting very clear boundaries, like, respect me or get out. There's the door. When women aren't like that, they get trampled over and the virgin's done. There is no virgin left. Like, it's tainted. Again, this is not it's not necessarily a sexual thing. This is an energy that lives in the heart. My guides always, they talk to me about the virgin heart a lot. It is the sacred heart. They're one and the same. It's a heart that doesn't assume a break when it gets into union, the right partnership. It's a heart that's open and available for the right soulmate to step in and meet them there. It doesn't mean you're not protected. It just means you're not 24/7 guarded, like with swords, ready to go with everything, because you assume every relationship is an attack, which is the way most people live. I can be honest. So it's being surrendered, but with boundaries. Now, the shadow attribute, which is what you guys will be working through, is the fear of intimate union, right? So the highest potential of all of this is stepping into intimacy through union on earth in a very physical, practical way, in a very sexual way, in a very sensual way. You're sharing your heart, your mind, your soul, and your body with another human. Beautiful. Okay, let me tap into this prosperity card. What, actually? Yeah, okay, beautiful. Hold on. The frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, and soul and spirit sing. Hi, Dylan. You're totally welcome. I didn't see all of your comments, by the way. I'll try to respond as I go, but for those of you that watch my videos, I tend to get distracted, so I'm going to try to stay on track. Do I need to touch more on the sword in the heart? Or was that enough? Let me think on it, because I've done a lot of work over the last several years to move through my heart space. I had my heart broken, like, way more than anyone's heart should be broken, by family members, and then by more family members, and then by ex's family members, and then by love interests, and it made me very hard externally. So those of you that have had difficult relationships or very manipulative relationships, caught you off guard. Great. Those of you who have experienced manipulation, not just mental manipulation, because that's one way of dealing with it. I can deal with mental manipulation like a pro. Guarding that the virgin heart, the sacred heart. Nobody likes to feel when someone around them, whether it's a parent, whether it's another family member, whether it's a love interest, this is what screws our hearts up. This is what's being released, and then we'll step more into the potential here. Hi, Shelly. Oh, Virgo. Yeah, Virgo the Virgin. That's like the highest trait of a Virgo. Okay, so the feeling of what we typically tend to avoid, and I'm going into this because it's the reason why we guard up so hard in our hearts and why we carry swords everywhere in the heart space. It's like, don't touch me. I'm not available for intimacy. Get out. Like, you know, we've all got to heal. It's like very normal. Some of us have it worse than others, but let me explain what emotional manipulation is, because then you'll understand why you would have guards up to protect this part of your heart, the sacred heart. Emotional manipulation is when there's both love and there's hate at the same time. Codependency, but I would really say it's really disguised. It's really hate disguised as codependency in this situation, or resentment even. I didn't grow up with this in my immediate relationships. I feel grateful for that. Mine was whatever. I won't get into it. It was a different end of the spectrum, but I have experienced people on this side of it where it is like you're experiencing both intense love, pure love, and pure manipulation, hate from the same person, maybe even from a caregiver. And that really tears your heart up and it makes you want to protect it. Because what emotional manipulation is someone oh, my battery's low. We might need, or I'll unplug this halfway. Okay, Spirit, bring me back. Emotional manipulation is people open up your heart. They love and love and love and love you. They know exactly what's going to get you to open and surrender. And then once you're open and surrendered, then they start moving things into place because there was an alternate agenda. Because of that, this is, again, it's a very common technique as a human, like as humans, like we tend to do this in one way or another. Because of that, we carry swords at the heart because we go, well, I don't want to deal with that pain that's going to happen when you get into my heart space and then you stab me in the heart or do some sort of betrayal. So I'm just not going to love, because God knows it hurts so much more when you let someone in and then they hurt it. So that tends to be the thing that we're all like working through. That's what you need to be able to break through to get into a really practical and beautiful, divinely orchestrated soulmate union. Spirit also is gentle. You don't have to do, like, it's not like there are things you have to do to get into a good relationship. It's just really like, just know that that's the work in general. Our higher selves all have us each timed very differently for when's going to be the best based on our own trajectory map as well as the other person. Okay, so highest potential. I might need to plug in. I didn't realize how low my battery was. I guess we'll find out. I'll wait for the 10% mark. We're living on the edge right now. Oh my God. Also, they're like, so you guys heard me say 12-month mark earlier, right? My battery just went off at 20%, said you have 20% battery left. So this is, again, this is a collective statement. Some of you have people coming in much sooner. Some of you are already in relationship or already know your person. But I'm seeing clearly that 20% was like, you've done 80% of the work. You're at the last 20%. Like, just let it roll. This last 20% is going to be super easy. Okay, so tapping into the highest potential in soulmate relationship. We have companion, which is loyalty, tenacity. Oh, what a word for companion. Okay. And unselfishness. So it's like really like perseverance. The shadow attributes, just like I had said about the heart space, are betrayal by misusing confidences and loss of personal identity, which is going to be codependency. So we're looking at the higher aspects, the highest potential. So we're looking at the light traits. So loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. I also love that this card, like, they're not necessarily masculine and feminine. This could be two feminines. It could be two masculines. Like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of androgynous. So I'm kind of into that. So it's like an equal exchange, an equal give and take. They're showing me just a cycle that doesn't stop. Like you're giving to one another, and it's like a feedback loop that just keeps on giving and giving and giving into itself in harmony. Okay, child divine, child orphan, and child eternal. Let me just look at the light traits here. Determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, and able to see things with fresh eyes. That's what I said to you guys from the heart. It's like being able to fall in love all the time. Like being able to see freshly through the eyes of the heart. They're chasing butterflies. They're enjoying themselves. There are sunflowers. This is a really strong, happy, healthy solar plexus. chakra energy. It's very playful. Okay, the child orphan, independence based on learning to go it alone and conquering the fear of surviving. I mean, simply, you're just no longer going it alone. And you've already conquered the fear of surviving because now you have a companion to do it with. And it doesn't mean you're going to be glued at the hip. I've had very codependent relationships. Like, we don't need them. You can still maintain your sovereignty and maintain your independence by asking for your needs and for having a life separate from your partner. Not separate, but just like you do things on your own. You don't do things just for them. Like, yes, we give and we take, and there's a full cycle of like reciprocity in relationship, and like you do your own stuff too to keep your independence, however that is. Independence being relative, you're in relationship, but not codependent. That's the point. Child divine is innocence, purity, and redemption. Suggests a special connection with the divine. This is, again, all this stuff is really, the inner child lives in the heart space. This one is dancing. It's got a bunch of stars around, and the shadow trait is the inability to defend oneself. So that's what I was saying too. It's about having boundaries on your sacred heart space. So the highest potential is tapping into the divine nature of your beautiful sacred heart, which is miraculous. Like, the purity of the heart is miraculous. I don't know how else to explain it. It's miraculous. It's beautiful. Whenever I tap into it, and this has been a lot of what my training has been in my spirituality, whenever I sit into this sacred heart, like, oh my God, it's just beautiful. Like, ugh, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a sensation. It's like a, I don't know. It's so nice. Okay. That's what we got there. So I'm just going to check in with my guides real quick and get our next question out here. I'm going to ask this in two ways. I'm going to do it for divine feminine and divine masculine. So what's blocking? I want to say the idea of relationship, because I don't know that relationships are really blocked. I think the universe is going to move you on target anyway at some point, if you're open and willing. What's blocking the idea of relationship, or what's standing in the way that the divine masculine needs to work through? Woo. Wow, you guys, the men. Companion and lover. So what's standing in the way? What's blocking the idea of relationship? What do you need to lean into to move forward? What are the challenges that you need to be able to work through? For men, it's being able to accept that they don't have all the answers. They don't have all the solutions, that they actually do need to lean on a partner. You're going to be leaning on a divine feminine when you come into union. And there seems to be a good amount of ego in the way that's afraid of that. Not that y'all are bad or anything. But like, men have a different idea of what it is to be independent. Generally speaking, collectively, when women assume independent, like, they're not doing it at the risk of no relationship. Like, women are always seen as being somehow at the collective level in the home, some level of providership because of having children, etc., and families. But like for men, and I'm not saying it's not that way for men, but for men, there's like this like, I have to stand strong. I got to do this all on my own because my masculinity is threatened if I have help. That's what you need to get over. Maybe easier said than done, but I'm actually going to say the prayer now. You guys can just receive the transmission that it is easy to get through. That it's easy to cut through. It's also assuming and or knowing that your heart might be wounded, and men are typically less capable of vocalizing those wounds Women are given more emotional tools, so we are more emotionally expressive in general. So if you are a man on the stream or watching this, don't beat yourself up. Just start developing, whether it's through therapy, whether it's watching videos like this, watching videos on YouTube, like start educating yourself around emotional needs, how to describe what's going on for you emotionally, being able to share that potentially with the women around you, feeling in a safe way, because you need to feel safe just as much as women need to feel safe. Generally speaking, women need to feel safe in their bodies overall, and men need to feel safe in their hearts. Women are more acclimated to their hearts, men are more acclimated to their bodies. So some of this also, this companionship, is being able to learn how to trust a feminine energy in her heart space, and trust your selection and divine selection of the right woman for you, the right feminine energy, that she can look out for your heart. So when you guys think about like divine counterparts, there's this idea that the masculine is always in a protection role. What I'd like to say is I just want to take the leverage of that understanding that many of you will have collectively, and then bring it to, it's generally speaking, I don't want to say the job of the woman, but if the man is protecting the household, okay, the woman's protecting the heart. The feminine energy is actively sorting through, filtering, and protecting the purity of the heart space. That is generally a feminine responsibility, I would say. Now, I forgot to say this earlier, we also have divine feminine and divine masculine polarities in our own bodies and in our own consciousness. So anything in this video could resonate with your internal relationship with yourself or resonate with you externally. So it's just something good to keep in mind. Now, for our wonderful divine masculines, the other card that was blocking the idea of relationship, or that there's a challenge and needs to be moved through, is the Lover. Which is, this is like very ironic for you guys, that the two challenges are the two things that are relationship. Which tells me that a lot of you are very, 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 very headstrong. Over relying on your ego, over relying on the material world. How much money do I have? Do I have the right car? Like you're thinking about everything materially. And if I can be honest, one of the biggest things I've heard from women that I've worked with in the past that I've coached, is that they're always like, you know, the guy, like my husband, it's always like my husband. That generally is it. Or my fiance or my partner. They're like, you know, it would have been nice if they realized I didn't care. I didn't care about the material shit. Like I just didn't, they thought they had to get all this together. I hear this endlessly with women. That they're like, oh my God, my husband thought he took a whole year to try to fix his career. And they were like, all I wanted was your heart. Like, literally, you guys, we love you. We adore you. So the light attributes are great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone, right? Or something. Now, because this is a challenge card, I'm going to read the shadow attributes. But more specifically with the Lover, you need to practice loving. You need to practice softening and opening your heart in a way that feels safe. For a lot of you, none of it will feel safe. So you kind of got to like tiptoe in, try some things out, start expressing yourself to others, even if it feels wildly uncomfortable. Look at that, Shelly. Accurate. All I want is his heart and he's pursuing the money. It's literally like 90% of women will say that. And the men, you guys, some of you wait a very long time, and the women are just like, don't keep me waiting. Like, meanwhile, the men are taking like 12 to 24 months to like get their finances together. It's like, you could do all this together. That's what's coming through. Of course, no judgment. And of course, we love you. This is literally just the channel message that's coming through. So the Lover, the shadow attributes are obsessive passion that harms others and self-destructive devotion. This tells me immediately that the challenge in the divine masculine heart for this collective is this idea. There's a very fine line with you accepting a partner into your life. There's a very fine line of protection and ownership. All right. Looking after and mine. One is One is loving. The other one is treating your partner like a possession. Being so passionate that you are now enveloping the other person's energy, the feminine energy, and dominating it. And that's no issue with like, I don't know, any of you guys don't know, the sexual like dominant stuff. Like I don't have the language even to describe it because I'm not familiar with it. But I want to be specific. Most of the last 15 years of my life, I have been very all accepting with all levels of sexuality. I like to make sure that that space is held in front of me, around me. So that's why I'm saying that. I don't want anyone to be like, oh, we can't do dom sub, like, or whatever. Like, I'm like, no, sweetheart, you do whatever you want as long as there's consent. I just want to make that separation. It's more, when I say dominant, there is an energetic thing that men do in relationship that I see really consistently across most people that I work with, where they energetically dominate the feminine energy, which is to claim ownership, like this is mine. And that's how a lot of men create protection. And yes, it is protective towards outside forces, but it's wildly not protective for your own shadow, which then wreaks havoc and destruction over the sacred heart that the woman is holding. And it's her energy, or the more feminine energy, that is cultivating safety in the emotional space around the sacred heart. And when a masculine dominates her energy, there's nothing left to have that is sacred. So this is, they're sending through me some typical like phrases, like where you don't know your own strength. This could be a physical dominance. A lot of men don't know how strong they are, and a lot of women don't know enough to say, hey, that touch was a little too hard. It made me feel like this, because we tend to be missing the vocabulary and the emotional EQ to describe how we feel at every moment of everything, but it does have an impact. Now, I don't want you guys to feel like you're walking on eggshells either. It's just about knowing that this is what you're working through. These are the challenges that you're going to be working through in relationship. All of this can be worked through with a conscious mind and a conscious heart. A heart that is ready for purity. A heart that is ready to love at the expense of maybe something material. At the expense of maybe something that's egoic. Like, because a lot of men do love being like, yeah, I got my woman. Like, she's mine. Like, I'm protecting her. But it's like, again, it's a fine line. Are you protecting her or are you owning her? Did you take her energy and make it yours? And now she's in a little golden cage energetically, because that happens to a lot of women energetically. Or are you protecting her from both external forces and from your shadow in your own heart? And that protection comes from softening the heart, understanding the language of the heart. And you know, the phrase, it's like meeting the feminine in her turn on. The feminine turn on sets the pace for the relationship, for intimacy in any way. It's like, if you can follow the feminine energy, her energy is slower. The feminine energy is slower than the masculine energy. So if you just like barrel roll through anything in intimacy, whether it's emotional intimacy, mentally or physically, you're dominating the woman's energy to the point where she can't like energetically breathe and take a second and go, do I even like that? But if you follow the woman is the slower paced energy. It is the safer way to go. It's the safer pacing. Men just don't naturally do it because men are very like I want to get this done. I want to take care of this. Like, it's a very different energy, and it's fine. It's just about knowing the balance of understanding that the more you soften and open your heart and allow the feminine to take care of you from that soft, surrendered heart, the less you'll try to, I mean, generally speaking, you still need to be conscious, but it's like the less you'll try to dominate her, because you'll understand that the sacred virgin heart is not something to be dominated. It's something to be enjoyed. It's something to be appreciated. It's something to be engaged with. And that all has to do with your consciousness. And let me tell you, any awakened woman Any divine feminine will not let you get away with shit. So if you think it's all up to you and you're like, oh my God, these poor men, right? Like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this? Like, I don't even know the right curriculum. Let me promise you, your divine feminine is going to let you know. Like the second you slip out of pace, the divine feminine heart has the ability to immediately tap into the cosmic mother. And the cosmic mother is like the universe working through the heart and the womb space. And they will let you know what is going on because it is a natural intuition, and she will tell you. A divine feminine that has done her work will call you out and will not shrink about it either. They will let you know. So that should be very alleviating for all of you divine masculines, because you're not just gonna F it all up. You can't, especially if you're paired with the right partner from like divine selection. Like your divine feminine's gonna be like, listen, go look at that. Like, hey, I'm not feeling you in my heart space. Or like, you know, at the physical level, it's like, hey, I'm not turned on. Like that's freaking loud and clear. Like that you need to slow down and start pacing with her and listen to her heart space. Okay. That was fun. We love you, divine masculines. I'm like, oh, it's gonna come up for the feminine. Okay, what's blocking the idea of relationship for our divine feminines in this collective? Watching now, watching in the future. That's way too many. Hold on. They give me a bunch. I don't like how they pop, so hold on. We're gonna pull again. There's a way that spirit produces like the pop of the cards that I'm like, yes, that was it. What's blocking the idea of relationship? What do our divine feminines need to move through? What's the biggest challenge at this time? We had 2 for masculine, so we need one more. What's the challenge? What's blocking the idea of relationship? Women, it's already coming through. It's control. The first card that came out was the Engineer. Okay, so this is like, get out of your head, ladies. Like, this is like mental control. Like you're constantly, if you guys have heard like where women occupy the divine masculine state in themselves, this is like your career focus. You're making the money, you're providing for yourself, you're independent, you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of everyone around you. The Healer came out right behind that. Like you are taking care of everyone around you and you assume responsibility for absolutely everything. And you're seeing the needs ahead of the men in your life seeing your needs. Slow down. Okay. What's getting in the way is that you are playing the masculine role in relationship and expecting your masculine to also be masculine, which is like 2 bulls butting heads. It's a painful control in relationship. It's like a little too manipulative, a little too dominant. So immediately what's coming through for the women, and let me think on the Healer as well, but it's like, let go of thinking that that everything has to mentally make sense. In the right relationship, you're going to be able to live out of your heart space. You're not going to have to think a million miles an hour. And traditionally strong women do identify potential issues or things that need to be addressed more quickly than men. It has something to do with how a woman's mind is organized. Like we can organize like really quickly, see many, many, many steps ahead. What they're telling me right now is even if you can see ahead what's going on, just let go, give the guy a shot. Okay. Give him a moment to catch up his mind, his heart, and try to bring a solution to the table. Like you don't need to dominate how the relationship unfolds or exactly what you're doing. Like sit back for a moment. I'm hearing this, don't take this the wrong way, you guys. I'm going to say it the way Spirit's coming through. Let them fail. We're at 10%. Spirit's saying like let men fail. Not that they're going to fail, but like give them the opportunity to experiment in their own way, to learn what works and what doesn't based on their own ability to take an action, do something, and then see the consequences. Even if you know that it could have been done better, even if you could see the issues ahead, That's not going to create a great relationship if you want to point all of that out ahead of time. And you want to try to be the problem solver, and it will create you into a dominant woman in relationship. And very quickly, masculine men in a relationship like that will sit back because they don't want to deal with the conflict. And the women just want to plow through and say, well, I just want it done the right way, so I'm just going to do it myself. And then you're never going to help. You're never going to be helped. You're never going to be in that companionship spirit, because, and this is no offense to the women, like I've been there too, but it's because you're too busy like dominating everything, taking care of everything. Like, it's not up to you to take care of everything, sweetheart. Like, you got to sit back too. You got to allow your man to do what he does, and he's going to do it in a different way than you. And you might think it's less than perfect. How many women would say that? Like, well, that's not how I would do it. Well, yeah, like, but also the way that they do it, the way their minds think is so valuable and so different that if you allow them to, and men do typically kind of fumble through this, if you allow them to fumble through it, you're gonna have a freaking king, like an incredible human that's gonna get you at the end, that he feels safe enough that you allowed him to figure it out because he wanted to, because he was coming from a pure heart space. He wanted to figure it out so that he could be what you need him to be to support you in the ways that you need. In order for that to happen, you need to stop this mental prison of what's going on. So the shadow attribute, which is what we're focused on right now, is reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. Those of you that read tarot, this is your typical like Queen of Swords, King of Swords card. This is like, the Judge was the next card behind it too. It's like, chop, chop, get that shit out of here. Like, no, you can't be like that. I mean, you can briefly, but this is the challenge that the women here, the divine feminines, are working through, is being able to release. This is an ego. Being able to release the over-reliance on the mind, that your mind is stronger than your man's mind, which is really not necessarily the case. Women can think quickly, but men in their most like natural dominant states are effortless with their solution abilities, their ability to navigate mentally. The healer card. Okay, what's coming through very quickly. Don't try to heal your guy, okay? Do not. Absolutely not. You are not here to heal them. I would even say you're not here to teach them, okay? There's a really gentle line between a lover and a mother. If you want to mother your divine masculine, you will cater him into becoming a child. He's not going to be into this either. Some of them like it, but they really just, they actually want to be kings. They actually want to be full providers. They actually want to feel what it is to feel that stable in their own energy. I'm saying that because a lot of men do like to be babied and mothered, but it's not like a true core need, generally speaking. So anyway, there's a fine line between a lover and a mother, and you have to be able, the challenge is, as a divine feminine, you have to be able to ride that line and understand. Similar to the divine masculine challenge, we were saying there's a fine line between protection and ownership. This is the feminine challenge that is equal, is there's a fine line between lover, mother. Okay, you want to nurture, but not so much that you're taking care of them. Like yes, you take care of someone in a relationship, but you're not like packing their lunch. I don't know, think about motherly things. You're not healing them. Oh, sweetheart, I can see the growth work you need. Let me give you the books. Oh, this is the therapist you need to talk to. If they're not already in therapy, I don't know what to tell you. Men maybe consider getting a therapist. Just throwing it out there. Women, the ones that need to hear this, you cannot force a man to go to therapy. It will not work. It doesn't work. Anyway, I'm going to sidestep that. I've got a whole stream of things coming in from my past, and I'm like, nope, put a pin in that. But anyway, what else do I need to say here? It's not your job to, it's your job to love. It's your job to nurture, but not to heal them. They will experience healing around you, as you will experience healing with them. But the challenge is that women tend to claim the relationships and go, I'll fix you. I'll control you. That's literally what these are. Your typical relationship tropes. Let me fix you. Like, stop it. No, it is not your job to fix them. It is your job to let go and to allow them to come to their own solutions and to work through their own problems. And if they fail, to allow that as well, because women tend to hold this idea or the standard of perfection where men have to be perfect 24/7 around them. And that's not how one learns. Like, if you have to be perfect, you're never going to learn. Men have a specific way of going about things that if you have patience as a divine feminine to allow them their process, and you have trusted in the divine, the selection of the partner that's in front of you, that is the right partner for you, if you trust that selection, then there's no reason to not trust that person's process of growth. That growth is not going to look like yours. For many of you, it might not look like, what did somebody say to me? Woo woo. And I always forget that that's a thing, because I'm like, please, if you don't get down with what I do, like, we're not going to be together. Like, this is literally all I do. But like, you know, men typically have a very different way of working through their own personal growth process, and it's just as potent, and they can be just as open and just as curious and just as available. So if you can be less attached to the judgments of exactly what that might look like for your particular partner, you'll be in a really great space of allowing them the autonomy and the sovereignty that they need to feel independent in relationships, so that they don't feel over-reliant on you. Which is what this healer card is, the shadow trait of the healer. How many of you know healers that hurt people in order to have something to do in their free time? I'm not saying that's you all, but that is a trope. That is a stereotype of a healer. All right, so just be conscious about that. That's what we're working through. Divine feminine's here. And with the Judge, oh, literally, it's what I was saying. It's like, with the Judge, it's being hypercritical. It's offering over only destructive criticism. I'm going to remove constructive criticism, because I think that shit's nonsense too. This is a personal Emelina opinion. I believe in positive feedback. I believe in positive reinforcement. I think criticism is always pretty terrible. But this is offering criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority, or the shadow attributes. I would just say it's like, it's taking control over the relationship and trying to make someone do something. And you do that by criticizing. And when you criticize, you put someone down, you put their confidence down. That opens up the shadow, the back of the heart, the shadow part of the heart that's wounded. For the wounded masculine, it's like, it's a state of vulnerability, and it's not the state of vulnerability you want to put them in. I'll say that much. So those are the things that you guys are working through. Transforming pain into healing is the light attribute of the healer. Balancing justice and compassion. Managing the fair distribution of power is the light aspect of the Judge. And the light attribute of the engineer is the ability to give creative energy a practical expression. Make sure that you are creative. Oh my gosh, women need hobbies. We need big projects. We need career moves that we're focused on that have nothing to do with the men. Nothing, okay? Like, if you don't, you're gonna make that man a project. Like, literally, it happens in everything I've ever seen in relationships. Women have to have mental focus on something that is highly passionate outside of the relationship, period. End of story. I don't know that I would say the same about men. I think it has a little bit less importance. Women just latch on. like, give me something to control and make my creative project. Well, sweetheart, honey, I love you all. Your man is not your creative project, okay? He's a human. He's got human development. Like, he needs his own space. You know, like, where else do I go with this? I feel like this would be a good comedy set. Like, do not make him your creative project. No. Liz just bought a guitar. Yes. Yes, exactly. Creative projects. Learning guitar is amazing. Just make sure you're like passionate about it, you know? the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like we could be like, oh, like here are a couple creative projects. Your heart really has got to be like into it. It's good to kind of get your feet wet in some creative stuff too, and then drill into like the next level of healing, which is like, okay, what do I want to do and really get obsessive about? I'm excited you got a guitar. My nails have been long for a while. I have not been playing mine. I've been painting instead, and I've been very obsessive about it. So that's a lot of where my creative outlet is, as well as some other things. Okay, and the other thing that came out was the servant. Do we need this? Oh, yes, we do. Okay, so this is another blockage for the feminine. The shadow attribute is using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. So, a big blockage for divine feminines. Let me find an easy way to dance around this. It's not bad to expect your man to provide for you financially if that's something you want. However, don't you dare be a damsel. And make sure you have your own cash flow set up, like your own career. Like this is the shadow attribute that's coming through on this is like becoming the damsel so that a man will take care of you. Like that is a huge blockage at the collective level. I'm trying to think, most of the women in my circles, like we're all pretty career focused, but I do occasionally will hear a gold digging woman and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, just like take care of yourself. I don't know, like it's beautiful. I really love to hold that space of understanding and attraction where a man is able to provide for everything. And that's beautiful and wonderful. And it really does allow a feminine energy to sit back into her femininity. However, like we said, don't make the man a project. Like, don't be a dead weight for the men either. Like, that's what's coming through. Like, claim your life as your own. Claim some sort of a career. And I will speak to all these paradoxes at some point. If that career is being a stay-at-home wife, if that career is being a mom, if that career is taking care of a family, if that career is more traditional, like 50s style values, that's your career, that's your thing. And there are men that are looking for that as well. I wanted to make sure I didn't step away from that because that is also beautiful and acceptable, especially in the eyes of God as well. And it's just as beautiful to have a career and to like take care of yourself, and to make money hand over fist. Okay, let's all be wealthy, all right? Who doesn't like a wealthy wifey? Like, can we just, like, that needs to be a little bit more popular. I think it is, but I'm just making it more popular. I want to keep going, so I need to plug my phone in. So I'm also going to take the mic out. When I take the mic out, you guys have to let me know, because I don't know how YouTube will handle this, if my audio will stop. Okay, hold on. Midstream. I'm also delighted to talk about these things because I've been wanting to talk about them for a while. On that servant thing, I didn't know, this is going to sound so silly and naive of me, you guys, but I didn't know that women do actually gold dig because I've never been that. It's not in my lineage. I don't have friends that do it. But I met some in Los Angeles last year and I was like, I'm sorry, what? And then I was like, oh, I get why these guys are so crazy out here. Is this what's going on? Anyway. Thought it was really funny. You're just seeing like my innocent self. Okay, so I'm unplugging my mic. Can you guys hear me? Can you still hear me? If someone can comment. I'm gonna read this. Okay, someone tell me, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, you can! Okay, great. Fabulous. Oh, Missy's in here! Oh my gosh. Okay, let me take a quick skim through these comments and then I'm gonna answer my next channeled question. I was gonna make myself dinner and I sat with myself and I was like, I'm just so excited to shoot this stream. I've been dreaming of someone's arms with tattoos, but that's all I see. That's cute. Oh yeah, we do dream of our partners ahead of time. Before I ever meet a soulmate, I see them in some level of a dream state. Dylan, I wrote on someone else's page, go live, and then you go live on YouTube. You know, that's like, that's the universe doing its synchronicity thing. Dylan, I'm excited for you too. Did you tell me you were 24? I'm like, I'm stoked for you, because if I knew this stuff when I was like 22, 24, I'd, oh gosh, you know, hindsight, 2020. Liz, I had a mentor tell me that soulmates and twin flames are here to teach us lessons, not necessarily to be with us for eternity. Yes, I would double down on that as well. It depends on the sort of soulmate relationship and how much you've learned. I think once you've learned a lot of things, you can have them for the rest of your life. I don't know. That's where I'm at. That's what I want. But I've already been in long relationships as well. Okay. Amazing. I think I'm pretty good. I'm going to go into my next set of questions here for divine masculine, divine feminine. Accurate. Oh, love these. Liz, I'm a female with masculine energy. Men say I make them uncomfortable because they don't feel needed. It depends on which energy you want to sit in. If you like being a more masculine, I'm in Los Angeles. Let me tell you, there are plenty of feminine men here. I wish there were more masculine men that were coming across me, but they tend to be very overly feminine. They're really like sitting in the receiving mode all the time. So if you like that, because I don't want to demonize that by any means, like there are different roles for different people. Your soul wants different things. Everybody's soul is a little bit different, obviously. So your lessons are going to be different. So if you want to be a more masculinized woman, claim it and start asking your soul to, if you like that role, start asking your soul to bring in a man that is more in touch with his feminine qualities and that is more in a receiving, sitting back position. They are out there. I do know many of them, and they're lovely and beautiful. Oh, and Shelly, you literally said that too. I think my DM is channeling his inner feminine. It's a thing. It's a thing. It drives me a little bit crazy personally, because I like being in a feminine state, but if that space is not held for me, and this is the case with many divine feminines, then I will become a masculinized version of myself, and I just know that that's not my preference. What all this comes down to is, what do you prefer? Do you know yourself well enough to ask for what you need and what you want in relationship and with your soul? Let me just skim through the rest here. Okay. Missy, you're so welcome. I'm so happy you left some comments. Shelly, I paint today, made 3 paintings. Oh, beautiful. Yes, I love all of this. Dylan, would you say Pretty City's gold digging is very real? I had no idea. I had no idea. I've got so many things coming in. I'm like, Evelina, don't talk about that. I trust you guys to be able to navigate that. You know, what's funny, the things we work through is like, the worst of women that comes forward is this gold digging idea. And the worst of men that comes forward is the player that's just looking to use a woman's body. So, I mean, the genders have all the things that they're fighting against. But we all get through it, right? Some way or another. Okay, we're running pretty long with the stream too, but I wanted to tackle this. What can we look forward to? Let's do divine masculine and divine feminine. What can we look forward to? What deck do I want to use? What can we look forward to? Spirit, which deck do you want me to? I think I'm going to do the animal deck. Okay. What can we look forward to in relationship for the divine masculines? What can we look forward to? Also, as I'm shuffling these, I just want to insert here too. Part of developing preferences is doing something, jumping in, and then figuring out if you like it. So it's part of the process of attracting the right person and understanding like what you want. So in my 20s, I sprinted into a relationship, and I became a more masculinized feminine, and I didn't like it. So I crest a different version of myself. It requires a different person. You create preferences based on what you live, based on what you see, based on what is modeled to you. And I think one of the challenges is trying to find what those preferences are. So what can we most look forward to for our divine masculines? You guys, this is like, I can feel the masculine heart space opening. What we're most looking forward to with our divine masculines is that you're holding the sacred flame of creation in your heart and you're protecting it. You're busting through all blockages. The elephant is also like synonymous with Ganesh, like anything that stands in between you and this relationship, or anything that stands in between the couple, you and your partner, like who will become your partner, and what you want, your dreams being actualized, the two of you creating like a beautiful reality. Any of the obstacles, you're just going to be crushing through. This is also the obstacles of you getting into preparation for a relationship, because the two cards they pulled out for the masculine were the companion and the lover for difficulties, for challenges. And what Spirit's saying right now is just trust your process. Your higher selves are looking out for you far more than you know. And even though the challenges might seem like they're pretty substantial, at the heart space level, just trust that as you walk forward, your higher self is going to present you with the right opportunities that will literally dissolve the challenges, no matter how big they are, in front of you that have been blocking you. They're bringing my attention to my turquoise as well. So speaking your truth is going to be what dissolves those blockages in a really, really hefty way. The more you can authentically speak your truth, the easier this path is going to be for you. The elephant is a guardian. Elephants never forget. They have long-term memory. A lot of you are going to be tapping into your divine memory, your remembrance. A lot of you don't even know that you have it. Your feminines likely will coach you into this unless you are already a pretty psychic dude. Also, though, that those intuitive abilities are really being highlighted because this elephant has the third eye is on. And it's on with the color red, which is passion and the root chakra. So it's almost like you're going to be shown the way physically in a way that opens up your intuition etherically. That will meet you right where you are, right on the material plane. Also, they're showing me one of the tusks has been cut off in battle, wounded in war. So, like, you've been through it. What you get to look forward to now is, even though you've been through it, you still get the love of your life. You get to be nurtured. You get to play. You get to have fun. Your inner child gets to, like, do what it's always wanted to do and never knew how to ask for. The dolphins are so playful, so joyful. They're also highly telepathic. A lot of your needs with the partner that is right for you, like, your partner will just know what you need. They will kind of just move on autopilot and help you to even be able to meet your physical needs in physical intimacy. Dolphins aren't they like the only creature that has sex for pleasure other than humans on the planet? Or there might be like two, but dolphins are one of them. One of the biggest struggles in long-term relationships in general is men assume that the women won't want to have sex with them at some point. Like I said earlier in this video, if you're attentive to the woman's turn on, the woman is the slower of the two parties. Like, she will feel safe and will want to engage. That intimacy is built up over time through trust, through consistency. It is a practice, just like anything. You have to prioritize the sex. You have to prioritize the intimacy. And it's not just sex for the body, it's intimacy. It's like a lot of men think that they just want sex when they really want to feel love through emotional intimacy. And they think the only way to receive that is through sex, because our culture has made it so that if a man has emotional needs, that he is so soft that he should be bullied in school or made fun of, or that he's not a real man. It's like real toxic masculinity. the intimacy is being able to meet each party emotionally and physically, and then opening up. Again, you're holding the keys to the kingdom here. This is the sacred flame of creation, which is opening up the ability to merge at the soul level through physical union, physical intimacy. So that's what you get to look forward to. Happy inner child moments, happy sexy moments, and a relationship that knows how to nurture, care, and provide for you in the ways that you don't even know how to ask for. Your inner child's going to be very, very happy. That's what the men have to look forward to. Okay. What is our divine feminine? What can our divine feminine... Oh, you can't throw 20 cards at me. This is how you can see how much more complicated women are than men. It's like, like there's so much more. All right, we'll go with this. We'll go with these. This is what came out. The rabbits at the bottom. Typically, this is a card about fear in this deck. What's coming through is effing like rabbits. So women, especially when they get older, okay, women in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, their sex drive is on high. 30s and 40s, like sex drive is on high. I remember a moment for myself where I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What just happened? Like, you know, women are looking forward to having a partner where they can explore all aspects of themselves with. People think that women are just like, you're either sluts or you're a virgin. Like there's like nothing in between in this society. It's ridiculous. Most women, divine feminine beings, yes, we are. Yes, thank you. Like we have needs. Most women want to explore many different avenues sexually, and just they want to be safe about it, which requires a partnership. If I were to poll 100 women, probably 90 of them would be like, yeah, like I'd really like to do all those things, but I want a partner. I don't want to feel like I have to do that on a one-night stand, or a second date or what have you. This also, what's right behind it, man, the women do get a ton of cards. I can't not address these all. Okay, fine, we're going there. Sexual intimacy. It's going to be real fun, real vibrant. You're going to be able to do what you want, and you're going to feel safe doing it. There's going to be healing. The sexual intimacy will be so intimate and so also emotionally held in the heart space and held with that sacred flame that our masculines were carrying as the protector and the provider in the dynamic, that the sexual intimacy will be naturally very healing. The frog is the healing card. It's the card of the healer. Like the sex will be healing sex. What's that song? Sexual Healing? It's like one of my favorite songs. This is done in monogamous relationship. You do need a commitment in order to have that level of safety. You guys know this. Energetically, emotionally, and in your body in order to receive that healing. So this is what you get to look forward to. You get the commitment, and you get to express your body in the ways that you've been meaning to. You're ending a really powerful cycle. The bat is like big karmic endings. The fox is strong right now. Yeah, this is like one of my favorite spirit totem animals. I love foxes. They're also very playful, and they can be like real trickstery, which is like something I enjoy as well. Somebody please, I wish I could like raise a little fox. I totally would have one if they would have me. But yeah, so ending these big karmic cycles, a lot of you guys, they're showing me ancestral cycles. Where women haven't been able to claim their sexuality in a healthy way, where women were forced into roles to play in society, not necessarily roles that they chose, where women had to remain quiet, unseen, take on hobbies. They weren't valuable if they had sex with anyone. They weren't valuable if their dad didn't have a lot of money with a dowry, right? Like they weren't, like there's this idea of these weird value things that we don't necessarily see all of it in our current American society right now, or similar to that, but it is in our DNA. It is at the collective level. Like we're not that far away from it, you guys. I'm not even keeping up with politics, but like stuff's being done. So it's like, it's like allowing those big old cycles to end so that you feel safe. That's what we get to look forward to, is that level of safety. Like, oh, I'm done with this. Like, I just get to be free and have fun. And what my guides pulled were the main 3 cards of what the Divine Feminine can look forward to. The Black Egg is about speaking your truth, feeling safe in speaking your truth, feeling safe in living, breathing, being authentic. And this is coming off as sensual for me. Dylan, yeah, I'll jump into that as well. So the throat, I'm trying to remember if the throat and the sacral are connected. I believe they are. I know that when I've done my sacral chakra healing, I also had to heal my ability to speak because that was taken away from me a lot. So what you can look forward to is being able to speak your mind, speak your truth, be a saucy little mama, a saucy lady, without feeling like you're going to get punished or hurt in the process. Like, you will be so held by your divine masculine. He's not going to hate anything you say. He's going to be so firm, unwavering, and knowing who he is. You're going to be so beautiful in how you build up the protection in your heart space to protect his heart as well, that the two of you are going to have very natural communication. You're going to be able to look forward to that communication. You don't need to stay quiet. You don't need to be quiet. No woman needs to be quiet. I'm so over that. I'm over that programming. The lizard, okay? You get to be ultra creative. You're going to be excited about how creative this relationship will become and will be when you realize, like, there's no project here for you to fix, that this is another human that is growing in their own way, like in collaboration with you, and they get to work out their own process, and you get to witness them in that process. The lizard is like sitting back. It's like sitting back. It's the sitting back feminine energy. It's just being like, oh, I'm watching you do that. You get to witness their growth. How beautiful is that? You don't need to teach them. That's like for sure. Like, we don't want to be stepping into that. Again, that moves into that teacher-mentor relationship, or it steps into that mother instead of lover relationship, which just like crushes the polarity. It'll kill sexual chemistry. Mostly. So if you want really healthy sexual chemistry, don't make your man a project. But anyway, what we're looking forward to is that you don't need to. You're just going to be able to witness them in their growth because you're going to trust their own growth process. And the last thing you're looking forward to is rising up out of the ash, baby! Because the Divine Feminine is the phoenix. I feel like the Divine Feminine is a constant phoenix. You know, we have a menstruation cycle every month. I don't know what else. What is that but death and rebirth? Like, that is the phoenix. The phoenix is also the root chakra card in this deck. It is really owning everything that you are, both material, physically, and the phoenix is literally an otherworldly creature. So this is the card that I would say is in total alignment with bringing all of your highest potential onto the earth, grounding it into the earth. And these wings are very protective. They can help you fly. A myriad of different things. You're going to feel free. You're going to feel sexually liberated. The guys are going to, you know, the Divine Masculine is going to enjoy that tremendously. But for women specifically, you can look forward to sexual liberation and speaking your truth. How important is that? Okay, let me see if there's one more thing I want to channel on. I'm just going to tune in with my guides here. What are we going to heal together in union? That's what they just said. Okay, but that's very obviously Divine Masculine, so pull one more. What are we going to heal together in union? Is that it? What are we going to heal together in union? That's it. Snap. Okay. I was expecting another card to pop and it didn't. So this is the one card. What you are healing together in union is the king archetype. The light side of this is enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those who are in your care or in your charge. The shadow attributes are excessive feelings of entitlement and rulership without restraint. What you're healing is the king archetype. This is very telling, actually. So the divine feminine, what we were most looking forward to is sexual liberation. What the divine masculine is, what's being healed the most at the collective level between these relationships. How do I explain this? It's setting the stage for healthy masculinity. Healthy masculine role models. Healthy masculine leadership. This king is not something that is held in high regard or modeled really in our society. It's really like the reversal or the upside down, which is like the emperor or the king in reverse is a tyrant. Generally speaking, the tyrant is very well shown and is very well modeled, but there aren't enough, what's being told through me right now is there aren't enough healthy men in relationship that are shown publicly, that are embraced, that are really in their like dominant leadership capabilities, but not from the tyrant place. It's literally from the masculine healthy leadership, which is so effing beautiful. Like a man that has his heart open and also is in leadership, takes no shit, is holding his own, is highly protective, highly loving, not guarded, but high boundaries, is vulnerable and quick-witted. There just isn't much of it, is what's being told to me. And it looks like the whole collective, you know, this isn't like one or two people, like the whole collective of this next wave of these soulmate partnerships are working on healing the king. You know, I actually think this kind of makes sense because I think the queen archetype is pretty, now that I'm thinking through the collective, what's been modeled to me, I'm like, no, I understand the queen archetype. And I'm like, oh, but the men are still stuck in the player roles. The men are still stuck in the, it's not everyone, but collectively, there's like this idea that the more notches you have on your bedpost, the more women you sleep with, the more valuable you are. Meanwhile, we'll go into this in another video, but you're just collecting shit karma, especially if the sex is unprotected. That's like unprotected sex is like open karmic exchange. It's just like, okay, like it's as good as having a baby, without the baby, but like karmically, it all lines up. Anyway, we'll do that specifically in another video, but it's healing all of that. It's healing the really deep part of the masculine that wants a partner. Like, even if we look at like Adam and Eve, like, yeah, I don't know, they were just like, they're like in the Garden of Eden, like hanging out. Like, I had a channel tell me a couple days ago, they were like, what the issue was with Adam. The snake, this is what was told to me, okay? I'm not religious. Don't ask me about these things. But this is what my channel brought me to the other day. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. Yes, they said the snake, the apple was the lie that Eve wasn't enough. That that the man had to have more. Like to dominate more, to control more, to own more. But Eve was enough the whole time. You just need one. You just need one beautiful partner. I mean, kudos to whoever's poly, but I don't believe in it. I'm open to it, and I'm very tolerant and accepting. In general, that's what I was saying. Like, sex positive is a real thing, and I'm super into that movement in general. But anyway, take that if you love it. If you don't, drop it. It's fine. If you are poly, have at it. Do the whole thing. I'm speaking more specifically to monogamy. But I hope you guys know how accepting I am. I like truly am. Like, you have no idea. Like, you truly have no idea. I'm very accepting on all the things. I just know what my preferences are. So what's really being healed is is the divine masculine leadership, which makes sense because if the divine feminines are struggling through and learning to heal, like being authoritative and taking control, and being critical, that all of those traits are very typical in like normal relationships, and that would be to remove the king from their throne. That's to like dethrone them, which is to remove their power and leadership and place them into a vulnerable, wounded masculine role, which of course is going to do something vulnerable and wounded, not in the good ways. So I think this is really beautiful. I'm just like looking at the card to just break this down. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. He's got 2 right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think this is great. That's what we're healing. We're healing the divine masculine leadership. I think that's beautiful. Is there anything else you guys want to send through? My guides? What has already been healed? Should I pull that out of the Carolyn Mice deck? What do we think? Out of this one. Okay. What has already been healed? Thank you guys for hanging out with me this long. Got like a full-on reading workshop. Okay, you gave me a question. You got to make the card pop. Like, it's coming. What have we already healed? We've already healed empowerment, communication, and the Merkaba, which is our ability to move through time and space. The Merkaba is actually like it's our time travel vessel around our body. So we've healed our separation. That's what I'm hearing. Those of you that understand like a lot of twin flame or soulmate relationships, there's usually long periods of separation or like a coming together, splitting apart again, or like, you know, there's always a separation phase. The separation is healed. Like the two energies have already occupied the same state of awareness. So what's already been healed is the divine feminine and the divine masculine are already in union cosmically. Like it's already done. You're already moving through time space together. Whether or not you've actually met this person, they are traveling through time and space with you at this point. What else has been healed is communication. You're already communicating in the 5D. Y'all are telepathic AF. Your higher selves are communicating. That's the telepathy, and then you're getting little downloads in your dream states and stuff. But you're already in full communication with this other human. Through your heart, through source, it's already highly balanced. They already know exactly what you need from them, etc. Your needs will be met. It's already healed. It's already done. And then the empowerment card, which supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we are connected through the same source. Time and space as a matrix, it's so relative. It's working through the quantum. You're already together. You've already merged your energies somewhere in one of the parallels in time and space. This is already a thing. So there's that trust of knowing that in the deep cellular memory of your cells, you do have remembrance or access to any level of the quantum. So you can just occupy, this is just kind of in your mind, your higher self, like guiding. My higher self is guiding, but really I can feel all of you guys. With me saying your body, I'm getting so many particular downloads right now. Your body holds the codes of the seed of awareness and awakening of being in partnership with someone that can be that reflection and nurturing of love to you and with you. And you're highly deserving of it. That is what I would call true love. The empowerment, that remembering of the union is both behind you in the past and in the future, cosmically. in the quantum. You may have met this person or you may not have met this person yet, but you're already completely intertwined and entangled in quantum entanglement. You're already together, which means for every need, there's a fulfilling of that need. Like you guys are already fitting the puzzle pieces together of exactly what each of you needs and doesn't know to ask for. And that's already been healed and that's already accessible. What I'm being told from that place is to then trust. You will not miss this relationship. Those of you that are in, well, really this was for single, but I'm like, those of you that are in relationship, like you'll know, this will not be missed. You will not bypass it. Your higher self will create a whole big sign and let you know in a whole lot of ways, like this is your human. Okay, it will be very, very obvious. You won't need to settle. You won't need to, I don't know, any of the lower level stuff is gone, all right? You're going to feel blessed about the partnership, about the situation, about even the opportunity. Like, it will feel otherworldly. And I can pretty much guarantee that. Especially with the Merkaba card. Like, this is all about moving through time and space and quantum realities. Like, some of you called in much higher dimensional realities than you initially signed up for when you came into this life. Like, you actually grew so rapidly with your ascension practice in this life that you attracted a higher level partner that may not have been the original contract. Some of those contracts you've lived out. Some of you have been through divorces. Some of you have been through long-term relationships that have split off. And some of those contracts were silent, running behind the scenes, but because you've done so much work in your consciousness in this lifetime, you already rearranged all the cosmic data to align to a higher partner, a higher soulmate relationship. So, okay, I'm gonna glance through some of these comments real quick. Okay. Could you elaborate on the lone wolf? What were you asking about the lone wolf? Sending for connections, activations, and you stopped me at king. That's what they wouldn't let me pop out another card. King. Dylan, you're a king. It's being healed. You guys are kings. Shelley, in the literal sense, Prince William. Beautiful. Disney movie wish. Yeah, the thing about the Disney movies, it's like true love, but without the codependency. Disney movies are highly codependent. Liz, I'm fluid but not poly. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm bi as well. Like, I'm very, I've got numerous queer friends and people I love and adore. I just see myself in union with a masculine because that's my current preference. Dylan, I had a dream recently where 2 exes came in and ended with me falling into water and a water snake biting me in the ass. You know, I posted this in a video this week. I don't know if you saw it or not, but when exes come into your dreams, get them out. Just communicate to your higher self. Say, hey, they don't have permission. Like, get this out. Because what's happening is they're thinking about you and they're sending you lower level mental projections. And they really, if they're an ex, there's a reason. Like it's done. The contract is done. The agreement's done. So it's about just setting a standard, just a little intention with your higher self. Like, hey, if they contact me again, boot them out. Like don't allow it to get to my mental plane while I'm sleeping. Higher self, handle this. Take it over, reroute it. Do whatever you got to do. Keep it healed and clean, under control, you know. Okay, Missy, how exciting for all you single ladies and men in the collective. You have so much to look forward to when you finally meet your soulmate. I'm excited for each and every one of you. Beautiful. Missy, you can call in a lot of this healing in your relationship as well for an elevation, which I'll probably do a channel on at some point, elevating current relationships. Totem animal, the wolf totem animal. Yeah, I could talk about that a little bit. Do you give coaching? I've had dreams of this guy and finally met him. Yes, I do. Send me an email. It's wearewokeaf@gmail.com. And yes, I do coaching. I do Akashic Records reading sessions as well. Relationship coaching is like one of my favorite things to do, like cosmic relationships. I love that you just met someone as well. That's very exciting. So the work there is like keeping it together as you get into relationship, which is a whole nother set of skills, because we're usually very challenged because it's very new and it usually challenges our thought processes. I don't know if I left my email in the description yet, so I will write it down. But if you just send me an email, we can chat back and forth about that. Relationship coaching and cosmic coaching. Intuitive coaching. I really love helping people from the space of consciousness, from the space of like energetically what's going on, being able to read you in relationship with the other person. Knowing yourself, knowing what you're working through, knowing what they're working through, knowing how much space to give, knowing how to enter relationship. It's all really, really beautiful. It's so funny because it's a whole lot of skill sets that like, I don't know if I ever knew that I was going to take on, but I've helped a lot of women get out of bad dynamics and get into very good ones. So yes, I love all of that. Okay. Yay! I'm excited too. I'm excited to hear from you. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so Dylan asked about the lone wolf. Oh my gosh, Shelly, 1 a.m. in Florida. Thank you for being here with me. Where in Florida are you? Sweet dreams. Oh, sweet dreams, sweetheart. We'll hang to the bitter end. Fabulous. Well, you know, Dylan asked about the lone wolf, and I think that's really beautiful for a masculine as well, because I think a lot of men feel like they're lone wolves, and I'm going to look for the card as I'm talking about it. The wolf is a pack animal. It's also one of my main spirit guides. So I'm pretty familiar with the wolf. So the wolf can function on its own very, very well. Very independent. Oh my God, are you guys both in Orlando? You guys, I've been like, Florida's been on my mind. I've been thinking about Miami a lot recently. We'll have to do an event in like Miami. Maybe Orlando. Go to Disney or something. Anyway. Okay, the lone wolf. The wolf can function very, very well without companionship. And it's like fine. Like the lone wolf, if we look at like the positive side of it, it's just like, yo, I'm independent. Like I got it together. I'm a ranger. I can take care of myself. But wolves really are pack animals. So ultimately they function really, really well in a pack, in a family. The wolf is the representation of the family unit. It's also being shown to me as the father, so the divine father or divine masculine, right? It's this gentle balance of protection and like play. They're showing me the wolves like protecting their young. Now, what else? Is there anything else we need to know about the wolf archetype? You can be independent, be a lone wolf, but not to a fault. So it's just like, there's an issue if you're being over dependent when you know that you are a family man. And I'm saying man because Dylan asked me, and Dylan is a DM. Club 11. Wait, what does that mean? I don't know if I know the terms. Very fun. Okay. Oh, you're talking about Miami. Oh my God, you guys are having a whole thing in here. Jacksonville. I got some other followers in Jacksonville too. One of my Instagram buddies is in Jacksonville. Oh, so funny. So funny. You guys come to LA. I'll come to Florida at some point as well. When I start doing my my little circuit. I think we're gonna need to be doing some public speaking. You're getting me distracted. Anyway. The lone wolf, it's this idea that you have to like not be a part of the pack. Like there are a lot of divine masculines that are family men that were taught to be players, and they don't receive, and by players, I really mean fuckboys. Like, let's just like, I hate the term player because it's so like, it's like, oh, he's just a player. It's like, no, he's a fuckboy. Like, let's just be honest. It's like calling a woman a whore. Like, it's not like women aren't referred to as players. Like, why do men get the like, oh, they're just a player? It's like, they're a whore. also not bad, but like, I don't know, like there's constantly this double standard with women, and it drives me crazy. Anyway, let me take my personal MO out of this. So it's, you know, what I'm getting with the wolf archetype with the divine masculine is like these masculines that were taught to give away their sexual energy, which is their vital life force. It is how they build their careers, how they build a family if they want a family, how they build their stability, and how they offer that stability in legacy for whatever it is that they create for their lives, that they share, the legacy that they leave behind, whether that's a family legacy or whether it's like a career legacy or they're philanthropists or however they want to develop that. It's like this understanding of who you are. Well, yes, you can be a lone wolf, but really you're a pack animal. Like, you're a family. This is the family unit. The wolf represents the family. So how many divine masculines are running around like, oh, I just play. I don't have any attachments to women. I don't need them. Let me put another notch in my bedpost. Meanwhile, they're collecting karma like it's their job. And they're denying their true inner authority and their true inner masculinity, which is the sacred heart, which is the heart that's like, actually, I want to dedicate myself to someone. I want to build something here, but I'm afraid to ask for that because our society demonizes it in so many different ways. The reason why our society demonizes it is because there are many big dark forces that try to keep men not in their power. Because if we had a bunch of kings running around in this joint, this earth would be very different. Be very different. It's one thing to have women like claiming their power, to have men in their real sovereign power. Like, nobody would get away with shit. Like, these are beautiful cards. The divine masculine needs to be celebrated. That's where we're at with that. I am so addicted, right? I'm literally like, oh, we're past 100 minutes, but I need to read these comments because you guys were having a party without me. Like, my little Libra FOMO is coming out. Okay, we had all this Miami. Oh wait, somebody's in Houston. Dylan's in Houston. Oh, cool. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm in Los Angeles, where things are so pretty and so phony. There are a lot of us real people out here, though, I'll tell you. Wait, I saw a comment from Missy. Liz, I'll be in LA this winter. Fabulous. Maybe I'll do an event. I've been thinking about doing intimacy events or intimacy coaching actually in LA, something tantric based. It's on my mind. It is on my mind. Missy, God, I love you so true though. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you for celebrating my... I get real saucy. I do stand-up comedy sometimes. I haven't done it in a while because I've just like got so many other things going on. But I'm like, gosh, I love talking about toxic masculinity and stand-up. It's just like my favorite thing to do. I'd be down. Okay, fabulous. Well, this winter, some sort of like heart-based tantric intimacy event will be open. I've got some friends that do it. It's been on my mind. It's been on my heart. Anyway, I'm thinking about it. Okay, that's what I got for you guys. Thank you for joining me for this very long, beautiful session and reading. We will celebrate the kings. We will celebrate the sexual liberation for the women. We will separate. Well, I don't know about that. What are we separating, Spirit? Your ability to think that you know what's coming next. Like, let it go. You have no idea just how good it's going to get. And it's probably going to floor you. And it's probably going to scare you. Pray to go with the flow. Some of us are so accustomed to not being loved that when love is shown to us, we freak the F out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those. Like, I'm like, what? Like, what? What is that? What's wrong with it? Poke it. I'm just being shown a snake, like poking a snake, and then you get like bit and like freaked out. You're like, well, you poked the snake. What did you do? Like, oh my gosh. I think I need to go make some dinner. Missy, I was born in LA and adopted in Adopted and lived in Glendale. Oh, that's so interesting. That's so cool too. Oh, you're so welcome, my loves. I love these streams because I get to know you guys more and more and more, and I remember your faces and your names more, and like the conversations we have in the comments. It just makes me really happy. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. So much love as always. If you liked this video, like it below, drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you about anything that resonated with you, any questions you might have. I love to answer those when I can. And back to the coaching, if you feel resonant with me and my energy and how I work and my vibe, send me an email and we can have a conversation about coaching back and forth together via email, and I can send you some info that way. Oh my gosh, so much love, you guys. Shelly, it's close. Emelina. Emelina. Alrighty, I'll talk to you guys soon. Enjoy your night. Enjoy whenever it is that you watch this. Quantum Time Space says it's gonna be beautiful no matter what. And I will see you guys later. Alrighty, peace.